Hey everyone, I am the editor-in-chief of ZeldaInformer.com, Nathaniel Rufflejans, and this is a staff training video. Why do we suddenly have staff training videos? Well, because we are switching from Expression Engine to WordPress, or you are a brand new staff with us since the switch to WordPress, and you're just trying to figure things out and figure out how we go about things. The site might look a little different depending on when you were brought onto the team. Because what you are looking at on the screen right now is actually a sort of beta version of the site, plus there's going to be additional changes after we make the switch to WordPress. But this is important to get done. So I got my mouse here. So the first thing you're going to want to do is log in. Now, if you do not have an account, you will need to talk to Darren, myself, or Masties to get an account. Because one change we are making from Expression Engine to WordPress is that there are no public-facing accounts. So the only people that will have accounts are ones that we personally set up. Now, there are two places you can go to. You can go to WP-admin after Zelda Informer, or since it's going to redirect you, you can go to WP-login. And that didn't work. Because it did. Because it's actually WP-login.php. I already have an account with the site, so I'm just going to go ahead and log in. Alright, so you initially will probably not be taken into the WordPress admin. You're still going to see probably the front end of the site. So to get to the dashboard, to get to where you're going to make the magic happen, you mouse over the Zelda Informer at the top, and then you click on dashboard. That'll take you right to the WordPress dashboard. Now, your dashboard is going to look a little different than this, but again, this is a training video on how to make all the various posts at Zelda Informer. And the first post I'm going to cover is probably our most common post because of all the fan content we cover, and that's videos. After that, I will get into just a normal image post. I will get into a post that has quotes in it and all that stuff. And throughout this process, I'll just give you the bare basics on what you need to do for each post. All right. So, if you couldn't guess, in order to make a post, you mouse over posts over here and you go to add new. You do not ever mess with categories or tags, by the way. That is supposed to be for high-end staff such as myself, Darren, or Masties only. Alright, so if you can't tell, this is a new post in WordPress on Zelda Informer. The first thing you gotta do is enter a title, but before you do that, you have to know what you're posting. Now, if you're new here or you're experienced in getting retrained, you already know that we get most of our news from this handy-dandy queue here. What you might not know is that this news queue is actually gathered up from a bunch of different websites and updated manually, usually by Darren or myself, but it can be actually updated by you guys too if you stay up to date enough with Zelda Informer to know what is new and what is not new. As an example, what I have open over here is not in the queue. Sad day. So this actually is a perfect video for me to get posted over onto the site. So what this video is, in short, because I've already done the research, and as a writer, you should do the research too, which means you should watch the video and figure out what is being said, what the content is, so you can summarize it correctly. This is a guy named Kryzen who is showing the massive updates that have happened to his Ocarina of Time Link model in specific from a year ago. And obviously in this case he's showing inside the Temple of Time, but he shows a lot of different things, you know, such as collision detection on the sword when he swings it at a wall, the updated shield and sword, and some updated animations, some new jumping techniques, climbing, etc. And see, I know all this because I watched the video. So this is an example of a post we would do at Zelda Informer. So I'm going to go right ahead in here and come up with a title. Now, titles should always be complete sentences, but you really don't want to make them super long. And the reason for that is because when we put these posts on social media, it's just going to cut it off, especially on mobile. So you really want to keep the titles concise, but you also want to make sure they make sense if you're reading it as a sentence. So in this case, let's see, this is showing 1 year development progress on Ocarina of Time. So we're going to go with fan shows impressive Ocarina of Time Unreal Engine progress over the past year. Now, even that title is a little longer than I would prefer, but it gets the point across. It's a fan who is showing their impressive Ocarina of Time Unreal Engine 4 progress over the past year. That's exactly what it is. It is showing the progress that this person, Kryzen, has made. Alright, so as you see, once you click down into the actual text area, a permalink appears. This is what the URL is going to be. It might not have this 2017 1.8 on it, etc. We're still making a final decision on that. However, you'll notice quickly over here that there's a visual and a text. You're mostly going to work in the visual, but there are times you're going to work in the text area. I know. Exciting, isn't it? So, first let's just get right into the basics of making a post. Unlike in the past, you do not need to make your post twice. Before, you used to have to make a preview, and then you'd have to do the full thing, and you'd have to copy paste. That's no fun. Now it's just all in one. No fancy work with the images. It's all automated. So here's what we're gonna do. So let me just come up with some text for this quick. I'm sorry, this part's gonna be boring if it hasn't been boring already. Make sure I get his username 100% correct. Kryzen X. Okay. Alright. That's the bare basics of the post, and this is mostly what's going to appear on the index, but we're just going to keep going because we do not have to separate it out. Alright, so I haven't really proofread any of this. It's okay, it's all on the test site. So first thing first, you're going to want to proofread whatever you wrote up. But just to speed things along, I'm not gonna do that. What I am going to do is show you some things that you should be doing with every single post you make. So if you have, in this case, the name of a game, you should highlight it and italicize it. Alright? All game names are italicized, whether you're mentioning a Zelda game title or whether you are mentioning a title of a different game for some reason, because maybe you're doing a piece that's a comparison or a crossover between two different titles. It's also true if you're talking about movies or anything like that. It's just proper English formatting, so please make sure you do this. Alright, and I believe that's the only time I mention Ocarina of Time. Now, if this was anything but a video post, we would put a source. So we would write source, and then, you know, in this case, the source is YouTube because that's the site it comes from, and then we would bold source and then link YouTube from up here. However, we don't have to do that because what's nice about using YouTube videos is that all a user has to do is click on the video and it will take them to the source. So we don't need to double link the source. It's just kind of a waste of space, and we're kind of in a premium now where a lot of our users are on mobile, so we don't want to have them have wasted space that doesn't add anything to their awareness or to their you know, to their browsing experience. So we got all that done. So what's next? Well, because this is a video post, the first thing we're going to want to do is embed the video, right? So we're going to go over to the share. It's going to work for me. Here we go. Click on embed, and we're going to grab the 853 by the 480 height embed code. I know, scary stuff. This is where we get to do a little bit of coding. So we're going to go into the text portion. Right now it doesn't show you any other code except for the one around Ocarina of Time. So we're going to put it on a new line at the very top of the post because that's what we do with videos. And I'm going to center it. Oh. And I realize that this is improper center code, but we do not have another center code set up at the moment. Alright, I'm going to go in and change the width because the width of our content area is actually 840 pixels. And that's going to make the height adjustment to 473. Oh, 473. Alright, go back to the visual. There you go, there's the video, nice and centered. Now, this video is not going to appear on the index. In the case of a video you wanted to appear on the index, you would actually put the embed code down here in featured video. We're not doing that right now. Alright, so next we want to add an image because every post needs an image, and the image should really be the biggest image you could find. So in this case, we're going to try to use the thumbnail from YouTube because that's always a great first start for anything. So first off, I have a neat little URL here. You can go ahead and copy paste this down, write it down, etc. This is where you can get YouTube's the thumbnails on YouTube videos. So all you do is you go grab the video ID, you throw it where this video ID is, and magic, there it is. And that's because this user actually uploaded this. So let's make a download of that. If this pops up with no image, then you would go up to this max res default, delete it, and put a 0.jpg in there. And that would give you whatever thumbnail YouTube created on its own. But ideally, we get this, not this. But if that's all we have to work with, that's what we do. Alright, so now we're going to go add this. So down here, there's a set featured image. We're going to click on that. We're going to go to upload file. We're going to go to select. You're going to find the file, which reminds me down here. Alright, make sure it's check marked over here, appears over here. Click set featured image. So what this is going to do is put an image on the front of the site. Alright, and it's also going to put an image on the inside. This is where I have to do a little bit of finagling because I'm not sure if I need to put the video code here or the video code here. We're still in test mode, but again, this is a quick training video, so you're going to find it on the fly. Next, we need to select categories for this. So this is fan content. This is not officially released by Nintendo. So we're going to scroll to the bottom here and select Zelda fan content. We also know that this fan content is related to Ocarina of Time. So you're going to select games. You're going to come down all the way here and select Ocarina of Time. That's it. That's the only category that this goes into, or the only two categories it goes into. 3, technically, if you count them. Whatever. Anyways, so technically, that's it. This post is done. There's nothing else. You don't need to worry about anything down here. If you can even see the permissions, none of that matters. You don't have to worry about this stuff. It's all automated, right? That's it. Done. So we go ahead and we hit publish. Now for you, you would not hit publish. I'm doing this because I want to make sure that this post is functioning properly. This is a training video. So I'm going to open up the view post. It's going to open it up. Okay. And as you can see, it's showing the image above the video. Now that's what we want to happen when there is no video. So what do? if we don't want that image there? Well, it's simple. We come back in here, go to the text. We take all this fancy code that we put here for the video. We copy that, we delete it. Go back to visual, and we paste that down in the featured video area. Then we hit update. Refresh the post. And there you go. You have the video, you have all the text, and now we have this neat little related post thing down here that's going to bring in other posts that are related to what this post is. Alright, now, going back to the index, you're going to see what this looks like on the index of the site. Look at that. The image appears automatically that we uploaded from the featured image to the left, but it does not appear in here. So now you might be wondering, well, why does it matter about the featured image? Why don't we just put it over to the left? Well, here's an example. If I go over to Twitter, actually, let's not do it like that. Let's do it like this. We'll go to card validator because I don't want to actually tweet this out. This is a test site. We're going to put this in here, and now, boom, that's what your post looks like on Twitter. Pretty cool, huh? All right. So, getting back to the post. Now, you would not make a post like this. You would not publish it. You instead would save it. So let's just go over that functionality quick, because all your posts need to be approved by copy editors. So remember, for video, do not put it in this text area, put it down in the featured video area. Alright? Alright. So let's go back and make a new post, and I'll show you the way you're supposed to do it. Instead of hitting publish, you should hit save draft. Okay? And then, as I'll do with the next post, you would take that draft and put it into the queue to be approved. But before we get into that, let's just get into making another post. So this time, we're just going to make something up. So, in this case, we're going to pretend that EG, I don't know, announces, I'm not sure why I butchered his name, Breath of the Wild is releasing on March 13th. Alright. This is totally made up. I have no idea what the release date of Breath of the Wild is right now. So yada 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 blah 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 blah, a bunch of made up stuff. In fact, I'm gonna go just copy paste some stuff from this post, just to throw some content in there. All right, etc. So I'm gonna change this to Breath of the Wild because I want to show you one special thing we are doing for Breath of the Wild. All right. Alright, so then EG said this. And this is where you would copy paste in a quote from him, but I'm just going to make up the quote. So, rocks, you rock, and it comes out on March 13th. Alright, and we're going to make sure that that's put in quotation marks. I didn't do because, again, I'm making this up as we go. Put some text after, more paragraphs, more stuff, etc., etc., etc. All right, so we're going to take this quote, and we are going to go to paragraph, and we are going to go, whoops, I'm sorry, no, we're not. We're going to click on block quote right here. Then we're going to click italicize, because this is words from somebody else, so we want to emphasize even more that we didn't write this. This is what somebody else said. All right. And then we're going to have our source. In this case, we'll say source, IGN. It's from an IGN interview. So we're going to bold that source. We're going to go open IGN quick just for the heck of it. Just so we have a hyperlink in there. You can see what it looks like. Close that out. Alright, source. IGN. Yay! Alright. And this would be considered Zelda news. And it pertains to Breath of the Wild. So we go to Games, Breath of the Wild. Alright. So remember I said we do something special with Breath of the Wild. So we still italicize it. However, we also have to add a walkthrough link in for Zelda Dungeon. For those who don't know, Zelda Dungeon's owner owned Zelda Informer, so this is to help them with their walkthrough ranking. So we're going to go to their site, we're going to grab their walkthrough index, come over here, and hyperlink that in. Ta-da! Done. All right. So we think we're good, right? So let's save this draft. Uh-oh. What did we forget? I don't know. Well, let's look at the preview of the post. It's looking nice. Look, there's a nice block hook. There's the italicized sources there. Huh. Oh, we don't have an image. So in this case, there's many different ways you can go with the image. You could look up an image of Breath of the Wild. You could look up an image of Iginomu. So actually, I'm going to try to find one that has both. Iginomu. Yay, Google. All right. I'm going to go over to images on Google and see if I can find a good image that has them both in it. So this feels like a good image right here, right? This is Miyamoto, Inomo, with a Boko Blend, E3 is where this is from, E3 2016. So let's go ahead and download that. All right. So let's go set featured image. Upload that file. Oops, that is the wrong file. So let's try that again. Of course that file's not popping up for me, so let me just search for it quick. Bet you this booth picture. Alright. Yep, that's the one we want. Alright, so set that as a featured image. You do not need to add this image to the post at all. As soon as you do that, hit save. Go back to your preview. I believe you should be able to refresh it. And bam! It put a large image at the top, and then the rest of your stuff. And that's exactly how we want our post to look. You cannot look at a preview of the index version right now because that's not available in the preview. All right, once that's done, you'll copy this preview, go over to the queue, see the needs editing section. This will be actual news. So I'm gonna do test fake news, but you would really write like the name of this post there, and then you would go in there and hyperlink it. You would then go into Discord, go to the Zelda Informer, go to the news channel, and be like, hey, at copy editing team, I have a piece ready for you in the queue. Here is a quick link. And then bam. Sorry, I'm fighting off a cold. So there you go. That's it. That's all you need to do. Bam, your post is ready for approval, and it'll be taken over by a copy editor from there, and hopefully within a few hours you will see your post go live on the site with appropriate edits, or you'll be contacted by a copy editor to teach you how to do the edits yourself. All right. I'm not going to do that because this is a test. We're going to go delete the fake news. All right. So that's the basic gist of making a post, but sometimes you're going to get to the point where you need to make a screenshot post, right? So let's make another new post. Here are 30 new Breath of the Wild screenshots. All right, we don't actually have any screenshots, but the same thing would apply, with the Breath of the Wild hyperlink and all that stuff. So we're just going to copy this post exactly, and we're going to go find some screenshots. All right, no, we're not going to do that. We're just going to grab some images I already have. So down here, you'll notice where it says image gallery. So let's go add gallery images. Upload files, select files. And I'm just going to go ahead and grab a bunch of random images. It really doesn't matter for this case, but you would be adding screenshots or whatever, whatever is happening at that time. All right. It's obviously not 30 images, but you kind of get the point. So those are all uploading. Internet, if only it would go faster. Almost done. Almost done. Obviously, some images are bigger than others. All right, and add to gallery, and boom, that's it. Your image gallery is added. You still need to set a featured image. So let's go over here and let's grab this nice screenshot of Seasons of Heaven. And we'll set that as the featured image, even though that's not, whatever. This would be news again. Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild. And you would again save the draft. And let's look at the preview. Does the gallery work in the preview? Yes, it does. All right, so the gallery is always going to appear below whatever text you have. That's just how it works. However, when you click on one of these images, boom, people can navigate like this. You can also select the images down here, etc., 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 and it will expand and get bigger up to 4K resolution if one of the images is 4K, although it will downsize with your browser. Yeah, not doing that right now, but it would if you had loaded this on mobile. It wouldn't like be so massive you can't look at it. Anyways, all right, so that is how you do screenshot posts. The only other type of post we make is the polls. Now, I don't know if you'll have the ability to do this yet, but I'm going to show you how to make a poll anyways. So we want to make a poll. So we're going to go down and click on polls on the left hand side, go to add poll, and this is just a test poll. So there's the question, there's the answers. You can add more answers if you want. We don't want users to select more than one answer in this one. We don't want the poll to expire. We're going to go add poll. Alright, so we need to grab this poll ID. So now I copied that. Let's go to a new post. I'm going to throw the poll ID in. Actually, you know what? Let's just go to an old post because everything else about the post is going to be the same. So whether or not you're doing, you know, screenshots or whatever, everything's going to, everything's identical in terms of adding an image down to the featured spot, selecting your categories, doing a proper sentence as a title, which, by the way, capital letters on everything but these interjecting words like of, the, are, and, etc. if you can't tell. Alright, so I'm going to get rid of the source, and I'm just going to throw in poll ID equals 2. Let's save that draft. And then let's go see what that looks like. And there is the poll. Here's the question. There are the things. We're going to vote 1, and total voters 1. Yay. Bada bing, bada boom. Just that easy to add a poll to anything. That doesn't mean you should add a poll without permission, because at this point you really should be asking permission to make a poll. But that is the gist of making posts on Zelda Informer via WordPress. Just to quickly go over what some of these other categories are for. If we're posting news that is not Zelda related but about Nintendo in general, it will be selected on our Nintendo news. If it is an editorial, it'll be editorial. If original, I'm sorry, don't select that editorial category. I have to delete that. It would actually be under original content editorials. All right. Don't worry. This is all for original content, so podcast, videos, etc., etc., etc. And there might be some other things. Looks like there might be some duplicate. Yeah, we have some duplicate stuff down here that we'll have to go take care of. I'll have to go take care of. But yeah, that's it. Pretty simple. Welcome to Zelda Informer on WordPress, where we try to make things as easy as we